Usain Bolt's legacy in jeopardy. Letsile Tebogo's shot pledge to dismiss Noah Lyles. Remember how one of the biggest highlights of the Lyles and Diamond League was the rain. The situation was so bad that officials were using a pylon to attempt to remove water from the track, and now Zurich might be sending the same signals for August 28th. Weather reports cloudy and not as warm. Occasional morning rain and a thunderstorm followed by a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Probability of precipitation 91%. And well, this is also the day when Noah Lyles will be running the 200m finals, setting his sights on Usain Bolt's record. In the Zurich Diamond League press conference, Noah Lyles said, "Well, that sounds good because that's what me and my coach got in our heads." The statement came in response to journalists pointing out that Usain Bolt's time in the rain, also the fastest 200m time ever run in the rain, despite heavy rainfall and temperatures around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius, Bolt clocked a time of 19.59 s. in the 200m at the 2009 Athleticism meet in Lausanne, Switzerland. That was also the fourth fastest 200m time in history at that time. Now that the 200-meter world champion has his eyes on that record, Letsile Tebogo, the biggest threat Lyles has in the 200-meter final, is ready to support him. Upon hearing the American's answer, the journalist joked with Tebogo that he now knows the plan. That is when the Botswana sprinter remarked, I can help him do it, but how exactly? By pushing him. Let's not forget that Lulogo was the one making headlines in the 200m before the 100-meter Olympic gold medalist returned, and upon hearing his rival's answer, Noah Lyles made a plan. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to rev each other, and then whoever got in the last 50 can have it, Lyles shared. If that is how the 200m is going to be in Zurich, then a lot more is at stake, other than just the league title. Not just the record, but legacies as well. If Noah or Lyles do clock 19.59, they are going down in the history books. If not, Usain Bolt would have an untouched record. Interestingly, a race in the rain has not exactly sat in the favor of the American sprinter this season. Plus, it has been a Jamaican who has been the trouble, Jamaican trouble, for Noah Lyles in the rain. Every time Noah Lyles has run a race in the rain this season, he has been defeated by a Jamaican. The American was all set to debut in the 100m this season at the London Diamond League. But before that, the Met Office had warned that London, Cambridge, and the South Coast could receive a month's worth of rain, between 20 and 40 millimeters, 0.8 to 1.6 in just an hour. While conditions were not as severe as predicted, the wet tracks slowed down the athletes. Jamaica's Oblique Seville claimed victory in the 100m with a time of 9.8686 seconds, and no other competitor managed to break the 10-second barrier. Noah crossed the line in 10 seconds, and then history repeated. In Lausanne, the forecast showed a 90% chance of rain on the day of the meet, and that is exactly what happened once again in the men's 100-meter. Jamaican sprinter Oblique Seville claimed victory with a time of 9.8787 seconds, defeating Lyles, who finished second with a time of 10.022 seconds. Seville will not be there in the 200m on August 28th. Still, clocking 19.59 in rain is not that easy. Can Lyles do it? For over a decade, Usain Bolt's name has remained carved into the bedrock of sprinting greatness. His world records, his flamboyant celebrations, and his dominance over the 100m and 200m gave track and field a superstar whose achievements seemed untouchable. From Beijing to London to Rio, Bolt didn't just win races. He redefined what was possible for the human body. But now, the whispers are growing louder. The next generation is here, and one name in particular has electrified conversations in track circles. Letsile Tebogo. At just 21 years old, the Botswan in sprinting sensation is not only breaking barriers, but also setting his sights on something once considered impossible, threatening. Usain Bolt's most cherished personal achievement. To make matters even more tantalizing, Tebogo recently made a bold promise to fellow sprinting star Noah Lyles, igniting a rivalry that could change the face of athletics. Bolt's towering shadow. It is almost impossible to discuss sprinting without mentioning Usain Bolt. His 9.58s in the 100m and 19.19s in the 200m remain gold standards, untouched for 15 years. Yet beyond the times themselves, Bolt's legacy was cemented by his consistency at the highest level. Olympic gold after Olympic gold, World Championship after World Championship. He was an unstoppable force, a man who seemed to have rewritten human biology. Athletes have come and gone since Bolt retired in 2017, but none have truly threatened his throne. Noah Lyles has risen as the sports showman, a charismatic champion, with a knack for winning when it counts, especially in the 200m. But even Lyles, as brilliant as he is, has openly admitted that Bolt's world records are in a category of their own. Until now, the rise of Letsile Tebogo, born in Gaborone, Botswana, Letsile Tebogo has been sprinting into the global spotlight with astonishing speed. Known as the Prince of Sprinting, Tebogo first captured attention at the World U20 Championships, where he stunned the world with effortless victories and youthful confidence. What stood out wasn't just his times, it was the way he ran them. Relaxed shoulders, smooth strides, and an uncanny resemblance to Bolt's running style. Commentators were quick to point out Tebogo doesn't just run fast, he runs like Bolt. But Tebogo is not merely a copycat. He brings a unique edge, blending power with a youthful hunger that suggests he is still far from his peak. Already he has clocked sub 9.9 in the 100m and sub 19.8 in the 200m, times that place him in rare company at his age. The world has started asking if not Tebogo then who will finally challenge Bolt's untouchable records. A promise to Noah Lyles. While Tebogo's rise has been remarkable on its own, what truly captured headlines recently was his direct promise to Noah Lyles. After a Diamond League showdown where both men exchanged words of mutual respect, Tebogo boldly declared, "I'll be the one to push you, Noah, and together we'll push past Bolt's mark." It was a statement dripping with both confidence and challenge. On one hand, Tebogo was acknowledging Lyles as the man to beat, the reigning king of the 200mm. On the other, he was setting the stage for himself as the heir apparent, the one unafraid to declare war on history itself. For Noah Lyles, who has openly targeted Bolt's 200-meter record of 19.19. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share.